Herriman residents waking up to find their cars destroyed by vandals. Police still looking for who did it and asking for help to catch them. Two major road closures happening tomorrow. Where and what time these could impact your drive. And the Utah 2034 Olympic and Paralympic Committee members meeting with leaders across the state, how they want everyone to be part of the games when it comes to Utah.
Live and streaming, this is KSL News Now.
Good morning, everyone. Thanks so much for joining us on this Wednesday morning for KSL News Now. I'm Lori Pritchard. We're going to get to those stories in just a bit. But first, let's talk about those Winter Olympic Games, because you've said it before. If they were happening today, we'd be in a lot of trouble.
Yes, we would, because we can't even make snow a lot of these days that we've had through November and December. But I want to show you what we've got coming up right now. It's more mild weather. We do have a couple of cold fronts to talk about. One moves through today. It's fast moving. And it's going to kick up the wind, especially in the early afternoon. Yes, we could even kick up some dust from the west desert. Then cleaner air moves in with a little bit of rain. Okay, so some silver lining with this front. But temperatures are really a mixed bag. 30s in Utah Valley. I've got 51 in Salt Lake. That's a big difference just between the point of the mountain. 43 in Logan with a couple of showers in extreme northern Utah. Bus stop forecast. You're getting the kids ready for school? Well, I got mostly cloudy skies, maybe some sprinkles this morning, but that better chance for rain comes in the early afternoon, coupled with some pretty stiff winds. We'll talk more about that wind coming up, Lori.
All right, Matt, we'll check back in with you. Meanwhile, to our top story this morning, police need your help to catch someone vandalizing cars in Herriman. Police say they smashed their way into cars, leaving significant damage. I mean, just take a look at some of these pictures behind me here. One of the victims speaking to KSL this morning, news specialist Brian Carlson is live with our story. So Brian, okay, so they go outside to their car and they find this, just all, the windshield smashed, problems with the cars, kids jumping on the cars apparently. Walk us through exactly what happened, what police are looking for now.
Well, Lori, so in one case, the damage was enough that the car may have been totaled. So that victim, frustrated, feels violated, and is hoping you can help police find who did it. So here's what we know. Now, police tell us that there are at least 4 examples where would-be car thieves broke into cars Friday night at Copperwood Apartments just behind Herriman High School. Now, none of the cars were actually stolen, but all received a lot of damage. Caitlin Beck's car was one of them. And she tells KSL she woke up Saturday morning to her car badly vandalized. Glass, as you mentioned, smashed, wires all cut up, and then a bunch of alcohol left behind. Now, based on how everything looks, Caitlin doesn't know who's behind it, but suspects they weren't professionals.
And also that hot wire, I don't think they knew what they were doing at all. I've asked a couple mechanic friends of mine, and they said they had no idea what they were doing. So I think it was a group of kids.
Now, other neighbors spoke to us off camera who say that they had similar damage. Again, same kind of thing playing out one after the other. One, as we mentioned, found footprints on the hood of their car. So that's at least a lead police have to go off of. But right now they say they haven't found anything from fingerprints or surveillance video as of yet. And that's where they need your help. So if you live in Herriman, you recognize the cars, that apartment complex, and you know anything, give Herriman Police a call. Reporting live, Brian Carlson, KSL 5 News. Back to you.
Really frustrating for those homeowners. Brian, thanks for that update. Also this morning, new developments out of Utah County, where we've learned a former hospital janitor is accused of stealing more than $20,000 worth of supplies from a Lehigh Medical Center. 47-year-old Jason Bronner was booked into jail Tuesday on theft and burglary charges. Lehigh police say he dressed like an employee to sneak into Holy Cross Hospital and steal supplies ranging from tools to skin grafts. Detectives say Bronner is being investigated for similar thefts at other hospitals, including one in West Jordan. We've also learned that when Bronner was arrested, he was already on probation for stealing from other hospitals in Heber, Murray, and the state of California. Let's go to Australia this morning, where there was a strong show of support from the community honoring the 15 people killed during the mass shooting at Bondi Beach. Swimmers here gathering at that site where it happened for a moment of reflection. Of course, this all unfolding as families in Sydney hold the first funeral services for some of those victims. Friends and families, as you can imagine, utterly devastated by the loss during what should be a time of celebration for the Jewish community. And this morning, Australia's Prime Minister is vowing to take action.
We want to stamp out and eradicate anti-Semitism from our society. We want to also stamp out the evil ideology of what would appear to be, from the investigators, an ISIS-inspired attack. That has no place. That sort of hatred.
As the country decides how to move forward after this tragedy, overnight we've learned one of the suspected gunmen has been formally charged in this attack. The 24-year-old now faces 59 charges ranging from terrorism to murder. Investigators say that attack was carried out by a father and son duo inspired by ISIS. The father was shot dead at the scene. Australia doesn't have the death penalty, so if convicted, the suspected gunman could spend the rest of his life in prison. And here at home, Utahns are reflecting on that tragedy half a world away, with a Jewish community in Park City celebrating Hanukkah with the lighting of this giant menorah. Now, people gathering to watch that menorah lighting last night, those who attended say in the wake of this massacre in Australia, they wanted to send a message.
When there's darkness, we shine.
It's just nice for us to come out here and show that there's light in the world.
There is light in the world, and community members also thank the Park City Mayor and Police Department for showing up and making them feel safe. Developing this morning, a 19-year-old man in Duchesne was hit by a car. Police tell us this happened near 6387 South and 12,000 West. Emergency medical and police responding to this scene. The man's condition has not been released. The auto pedestrian crash comes as the Department of Public Safety is reminding all Utahns, share the road. Right now, motorcyclists, bikers, and pedestrians are all taking advantage of this unusually warm weather. And DPS says motorcycle fatalities right now are concerning this time of year. 70 riders and passengers have died compared to 53 last year. Troopers say drivers should be careful and remain focused on sharing the road. Riders and pedestrians are encouraged to make themselves extra visible and predictable to motorists. We have new information this morning on the business fire we first told you about Tuesday morning. Fire crews now confirming that this fire was contained to only just one building. We saw the fire burning through that structure that houses Ford's Locker and Nova Inc. A car dealership in the back was also dangerously close to those flames. The fire was completely contained to Ford's Locker. However, the two other businesses did sustain smoke and water damage. No injuries were reported, and the cause of that fire remains under investigation. We've got a new report shedding light on the many Utahns who are facing the coldest months of the year without stable housing. The Utah Women in Leadership Project says this year there was an 18% increase in the number of Utahns experiencing homelessness on a single night. It's a similar trend across the country. This report says the lack of affordable housing, low incomes, rising inflation, and weak safety nets all contribute to this increase. The report suggesting Utah should allocate more resources to help people facing high rent and home prices. All right, let's get to Matt Johnson on this Wednesday morning and talk about our forecast. Really warm temperatures right now, especially as I was driving into work this morning. It said 50 degrees on my car temperature gauge.
Yeah, nowhere near where we should be this time of year. Overnight low average is 25. We're 51. That's incredible. That's a 26-degree difference. Right now, temperatures are up from yesterday morning across the Wasatch Front and most of western Utah. And that is because we are breaking up these inversions. We're busting off the cap, and we're allowing for this pollution to exit the area. Tremont, Box Elder, and even into Cache County, you've still got moderate air quality. But Salt Lake, Mill Creek, and Orem, hey, we're starting to clear things out as the air quality improves and we bring in a little bit of wind. Satellite and radar active towards Idaho Falls, Pocatello, out towards the mountaintops of southeast Idaho, a little bit of snow. More showers filling in out towards Snowville. Those will continue to drift into the east. Really, the Wasatch Front, I think you got a dry drive to work today. Windover's the nearest shower at our latitude. You look at the wind for today, it's going to crank up this afternoon. We could see gusts that could be picking up some dust in the West Desert. We'll talk more about those strong wind gusts and what to expect as far as rain. That's all coming up in just a few.
Thank you. Looking ahead, UDOT is closing Provo Canyon overnight beginning tomorrow. UDOT is closing US 189 starting Thursday night through Sunday as part of a road widening project. Crews will be clearing a path over the hillside for new northbound lanes. They say additional blasting is also planned for January. UDOT says drivers should plan for delays in the area. They say this project is a big milestone as they work to improve access to and around Deer Creek Reservoir. Also beginning on Thursday, Farmington will be closing a portion of I-15 for overnight construction. The northbound Legacy Parkway ramp to I-15 will be closed tomorrow night from 9 p.m. to 5 a.m. the next morning. Then northbound I-15 will close between US 89 and Park Lane on Friday. That road closure won't reopen until 7 Saturday morning. UDOT says these closures will let crews work on a pedestrian bridge in the area. And this morning, we're learning that the Trump administration is expanding the travel ban list and now including 39 countries. 20 new countries were added to that list, which prevents or severely restricts those nationals from getting visas to visit the U.S. The White House said that the countries demonstrate, quote, severe deficiencies in screening, vetting, and information sharing. Now, many of these new countries on the list are in Africa. But we wanted to focus on one country that was added to this list that will have a big impact for many families here in Utah. We're talking about Tonga. The island nation was hit with partial restrictions and entry limitations, but has exceptions for lawful permanent residents of the U.S. Utah has one of the largest Tongan populations outside of Tonga. The latest census report showing it's more than 18,000 people. Now, to put that into perspective, that's about 1/8 of the Tonga's overall population. The new restrictions go into place January 1st. So if you are planning a trip there or we're having family coming here, you may want to check the State Department's website first so you don't run into any issues or maybe even legal problems. Well, traveling through airports during the holidays is stressful, right? You might not have to be as stressed if you're traveling through Salt Lake City's International Airport. The airport just ranked second in the country for reliability. According to the recent study by Square Mouth, only 0.6 of flights get canceled. 15% are delayed through Salt Lake City. Hawaii is the only state that beat us. Officials credit the airport's new spacious runways, making it so planes don't have to wait as long to take off and land. They also say the airport's readiness for all kinds of weather is a big advantage here. The airport says they don't expect it to be much busier during the coming holiday season, just a little more congested with more families who will be traveling. An all-out fight over water access through the Colorado River is coming to a head in Las Vegas. Utah and 6 other states missed a November deadline for a long-term Colorado River plan. And now the federal government is stepping in to try and help solve the problem on how to distribute that water. Federal and state officials, professors, nonprofit leaders, and environmentalists will all meet today in Las Vegas for a meeting to discuss who gets what from the rapidly shrinking river. Right now, Utah officials say they're still optimistic they can strike a deal before the Trump administration officials have to step in. Salt Lake County celebrating its sustainability champions, that's what they call them. The event honors outstanding work across county operations in water, air, energy, land, waste, and recycling.
We at Salt Lake County have a value of saving money for our taxpayers and also doing what's right for the environment.
We're also getting the first look at Green Vision. It's a new county-wide initiative aimed at unifying sustainability efforts across departments. This project is set to launch next year. Well, we are 8 days away from Christmas and there is no snow in sight. Bad news, not only for ski resorts, but for small businesses depending on winter tourism. Casey Pratt, who is co-owner of Club Rec, says some people are still booking snowmobile rentals and tours in advance, but it's not the same story everywhere else. Diamond Peak Winter Sports says the warm winter has many out-of-towners canceling their bookings.
A lot of local ski shops, like anybody, are prepped and ready to go for Christmas, and so we get a little worried.
Owner Lori Mortensen says she's still optimistic that the snow will come. In the meantime, she says don't forget about those small businesses right now. You may find some things you need to finish up with your Christmas shopping list at a small business. All right, Matt, let's talk about the problems that we're having with the snow or lack thereof, because this state depends on tourism, especially the ski resorts.
Man, I totally agree. It's just crazy to have this little snow as we get close to Christmas. You can see some of the mountaintops do have some snow on them, but it's not deep and it's quickly melting at lower elevations. Matt McKay with the credit here. As you can see in the foreground, the trees have decided winter's here. They've dropped their leaves waiting for the white blanket of snow, but even that we are really struggling to get, especially in the valleys. Today we've got wind. Wasatch Front, I'm expecting 20 to 30 mile an hour winds with gusts possible up to 55. West Desert, 20 to 40 sustained, gusts to 60. I've got the ridge tops of the mountains, 80 to 100 mile an hour gusts. It is going to be whipping out there in the mountaintops. Reason being, low pressure is going to slide by to the north, and it's got a strong jet stream up above it, and so that's going to help mix things down to the valley floor. You'll notice today by afternoon, 2 o'clock, I got showers and wind. It's short-lived, fast-moving cold front. It's done and out of here by 8 o'clock. At 8 o'clock, it's in Colorado, and we're completely dry. So there's not much with this thing other than the wind. We've got snow showers possible in the mountains Thursday. Friday, I got another system moving in. Valley rain and mountain snow doesn't look strong, but it will be impacting our weather with a little bit of wind. So rain totals, look at this. For today, with that cold front, they've come down since yesterday, a couple of hundredths. Even on the Wasatch Back, extreme northern Utah, 10th to a quarter can't be ruled out. So central Utah, you're going to do 50s and 60s today. A little bit of wind for you. Down to the south, sunshine. Beaver, 61. Moab, 60. Into the north, 44 in Montpelier. You got a rain snow shower possible. But along the Wasatch Front, hey, we're going to scour out the nasty air, and we're going to bring in some wind, clouds, and a couple of showers. St. George, 65 to 64, more 60s all the way through this 7-day forecast. We will add some clouds Saturday, Sunday. Wasatch Front, you're going to go for 56 today, windy. 48, back up to 56, showers lingering Saturday morning, and then potentially near record highs Monday and Tuesday. It's only a couple days out from Christmas.
Yeah, record highs. That's incredible. Right now, Ballet West says it's seeing an increase in ticket scams targeting the popular Nutcracker production. One woman says she fell for the scheme when she wanted to bring her family to the ballet last year. She found tickets on what she thought was a legitimate website, and she found those tickets for more than $400 each. It wasn't until she called Ballet West later that she realized, yep, it was a scam. Ballet West says third-party sites are convincing, but real tickets don't usually go for more than $150.
Work really hard to make sure that we have a broad range of tickets so that people can afford to come.
So to avoid getting scammed, Ballet West says steer clear of those markup tickets, sites that put pressure to buy now, and look closely for reseller disclaimers on sites in fine print. A Utah homeowner has a warning for others as well after she says an unexpected factor played a part in her lung cancer diagnosis.
And he goes, have you tested your home for radon? And I just didn't know I needed to do that. The levels in our home were like I was smoking over 3 packs of cigarettes a day.
Yeah, Carrie Robbins says her diagnosis shocked her. Now, 3 years later, she's trying to raise awareness about radon. High radon levels don't guarantee lung cancer, but it is a known risk factor. Those who do mitigation work say it costs $2,000 or less to address radon in a typical home, and testing is always free. You can get it off the state's website. A Mill Creek electrician is getting a life-changing Christmas gift, the ability to walk without pain. His name is Jeff Mondraga, and he had to quit his job after years of climbing ladders and crawling through tight spaces. It left his knees worn down. After a conversation with a friend, Jeff connected to an organization called Operation Walk Utah. It covered the cost of getting both knees replaced. Now Jeff is back home and hoping he can return to work after some physical therapy. The Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints is updating its Bible translation recommendations. It's an update to the church's handbook this week. Leaders outline different versions of the Bible it recommends for certain age groups. The handbook says members should use preferred or church-published editions of the Bible in church classes and meetings. In English, that is the King James Version. Now, the update says other translations can help members understand the Bible better. We are looking out for the good this morning. A Salt Lake City blood drive ended the year with a big win and way more donations than expected. The World Mission Society Church of God wrapped up its end-of-the-year blood drive over the weekend. They say they collected 41 pints of blood when they were aiming for really just 24. The church says this comes despite blood donations dropping significantly over the years. And my life was saved by blood donations, so please make sure to give blood. Also, 'tis the season to give back, and this morning we are inviting you to also take part in Quarters for Christmas. You can donate by scanning that QR code right there on your screen or by going to our website, ksltv.com. 100% of donations go toward buying coats, gloves, shoes, and more for kids in need to make sure every child stays warm this winter. All right, so we are 8 days away from Christmas, Matt Johnson. Santa's going to need some snow to land his sleigh. What are you going to do about it?
Probably nothing.
I'm sorry.
I know it's tough. Calendar says Christmas, weather says October. I've got your city lights of Salt Lake City here twinkling with clouds up above and a little bit of a sunrise down there towards Utah County and Nephi area. Some showers out towards Snowville and Howell. That will continue to slide to the east. In the mountaintops, we've had some flurries, but the valleys, it's dry with threatening clouds, temperatures in the 50s in Salt Lake, but 30s in Utah County. So 56 will be the high today with a chance for showers, but windy, don't forget it. 48 on Thursday, mostly cloudy with a chance for showers returning to the forecast as we head into Friday evening.
With just 51 days until the start of the Milan Cortina Winter Olympic Games, we're taking a look at some of the athletes that will be going for gold on the world stage. For American luger Tucker West, the love of speed started right here in Salt Lake City. He quickly took up the sport in his backyard.
The story starts back in 2002. My dad and I were watching the Olympics. The games were in Salt Lake, and luge came on the TV. For whatever reason, I thought it was a really cool sport.
Well, Tucker said after the 2002 Olympic Games, his dad built their very own luge track. Soon after that, Tucker was competing on a junior development team. Watch this. There's the track right there that he started on. Now a three-time Olympian, Tucker is gearing up for his fourth shot at the gold at the Milan Cortina Games this February. And right now, Utah 2034 Olympic and Paralympic committee members are meeting with city leaders across the state. It's an effort to make the 2034 Games as successful as possible. The 2002 Olympics were a lot of fun, but the committee says they want to get even more people involved in 2034. And that can mean things like more community events, athlete meet and greets, and block parties in smaller towns.
Yes, the first phase of the listening tour is for our venue communities where they're going to be hosting events. The next phase is going around the entire state. And how can we make sure that everybody feels engaged with the games, that they feel part of it, because these are Utah's games.
The games are branded Utah 2034 as a way to include the entire state. Salt Lake City leaders say their city will still be the hub of those games. Oh, Keontae George and the Jazz Bear spread some holiday cheer. They went to the Spence Eccles Boys and Girls Club in Salt Lake City to surprise kids with pizza, gifts, and they stuck around to shoot some hoops. Keontae says doing something like this goes far beyond basketball. He hopes this makes a positive impact on and off the court. A great way to show that holiday cheer, right? Thanks so much for joining us for the segment of KSL News Now. We leave you with a look at downtown Salt Lake City on this Wednesday morning. Have a great day, everyone.